Good morning, students. How are you doing all? Good. Did you read your computer text about all about software? Great. So is it interesting? Yes, definitely the subject will be an interesting one. We do have a practical sessions. So you will definitely love this subject. Okay. All right. Before starting today's portion, I would like to ask you a few questions from the previous portion, that is last class. Are you ready? Let me ask you questions from previous class. All of you try to answer the questions. Question number 1. Name the components of computer. What are the two components of computer? Do you remember? Yes, what are they? Yes, it's hardware and software. The two components of a computer are hardware and software. Question number 2. What are the two types of softwares? Yes, system software and application software. Question number 3. Softwares that are required to run hardware parts and other application softwares are called dash. Softwares which are required to run hardware parts of a computer and other application softwares are called dash. Yes, they are called as system software. What is the full form of OS? Yes, it's operating system. The full form of OS is operating system. Dash manages the software and hardware of the computer. Who is managing software and hardware and software of the computer? Yes, it's of course it's operating system. Okay, operating system, it's a system software which manages the hardware and software of the computer. Next question. Name the operating systems used in computer and smartphones. So as you know, in computers, it is Windows, Linux, Unix, DOS, Macintosh, which goes on, Ubuntu, all. Then in smartphone, Android, iOS, Bada, Windows Symbian. Next question is, computer understands dash language. Computers understands dash language. Which language it understands? Our English? No, right? So which language it understands? It understands machine language because computer is a machine. So it understands only machine language. Then, assembly languages uses dash as symbols. Mnemonics. They are using mnemonics as symbols. What is source code and object code? What is mean by source code and object code? Source code means the program what we are writing in high level language, it's called source code. So what is mean by object code? Loudly say. Yes. After translating, after converting high level language into machine language, okay, the code is called as object code. After converting high level language into machine language, the code is called as object code. And can you please give me examples of high level languages? It's lovely saying C, C++, Java, Python, QBasic, all examples of high level languages. Name 3 language processors. Means which converts high level language into machine language. What are the three processes we studied? Yes, assembler, which converts assembly language into machine language. Then compiler, which converts high level language into machine language in one go. Then interpreter, which converts high level language into machine language line by line. So just imagine how many of you able to answer all the questions. Those who answered, I appreciate everyone. Those who did not answer, please study in a daily basis. Then only you can improve your knowledge. Okay. First, we will recollect what we studied. Okay. Then we will go to the new topic. So we studied about all about software. That is the chapter name, and we studied what is mean by software. So do you remember what is software? Yes, it is a program. It is a program. So what does mean by program? Program means it's a set of instructions. Set of instructions. Okay. So it tells the computer what to do. It tells the computer what to do. It's called software. And we studied the two types of softwares. System software and application software. Okay. And if you take a system software, it's not a single software. System software means which is a combination of many things, which is a combination of many softwares. And the categories are operating system, language processes, device drivers, utility programs, and so on. We have listed only four here. Okay, just imagine that system software means it's not a single software, it's not a single program, which consists of many softwares, many programs. Okay, few of them are here, and similarly application software, which also consists of general purpose and specific purpose application softwares. Clear? And we also studied about operating system, what it is, what are its functions. Then we studied about language processors, okay, the three types of languages, that is a machine language, assembly language, and high level language. And how does the computer understands our high level language? With the help of a processor, that is a translator, or we can call it as converter, language converter. Okay, so from high level language into machine language. So we studied three processes. Okay, we studied three processes. What are they? Yes, compiler, interpreter, and assembler. These are the three language processes which converts our language into machine language. These are the things we studied. Today we are going to start from device drivers. Okay, we are going to start from device drivers, utility programs, general purpose, and specific purpose application software. So get ready for the same. So first let us start with device drivers. We are going to start with device drivers. Device driver is the next concept. Now just to see the name device. So what is mean by device? Do you know any devices for the computer? Yes, keyboard is a device. And what else you can say? Even mouse, printer, everything. Okay, just so let me, what does mean by device? It can be a keyboard or a mouse, okay, or it can be a printer, scanner, or any secondary devices. Secondary devices in the sense maybe a pen drive we insert. That is also a device, pen drive, okay. Then CDs, DVDs, everything it comes under devices, okay. So secondary devices such as CD, pen drive, all comes, etc. Hard disk. These are all, we call it as devices. Okay. So the topic is device drivers. What is mean by device drivers? We are going to see. So the devices we have listed out here. So how does these devices work? When we insert a pen drive or a CD or a keyboard in a computer, how does it should work? Okay, how does it should work? That is taken as a program. Okay, that is taken written as a program, and which is managed by the drivers. Which is managed by the drivers. So who is controlling all the devices when we plug in into the computer? The drivers. They are called device drivers. Okay, so when we plug in the devices, okay, they are controlled and managed by a particular program. They are controlled and managed by a particular program. That program, it's called device driver. It's a type of system software. It's a type of system software. I'll repeat it again. The devices, whatever devices we are connecting to the computer, they should be controlled and managed. They should be controlled and managed. Okay, so who is controlling and managing these devices? The device drivers are doing that task. The device drivers are controlling and managing the devices we plug in into the computer. Okay, they are called device drivers. Okay. And also they just act as a interface between the operating system and the hardware devices. Operating system and the hardware devices. Clear? So let me write it here. So who is controlling all these things? The device drivers. Okay, who is controlling? Controlled by all these things are controlled and managed. They are controlled and managed by device driver or managed by device driver. Device driver, it's a kind of program again. Don't get confused what is a device driver. It is also a program. As I said, it's a type of system software. Then software means it's a program. It's a set of instructions. Okay. And how can we get it? Who will give this? By default, the computers has many device drivers. Okay, by default, some device drivers are that programs are already there in the operating system, and some drivers we have to install. Say for example, if you buy a new printer for your computer, when you buy a printer, they will give you a CD. Okay, so if you just manual CD, okay, installation CD. So if you install the CD, that CD has a driver. So that driver you can install it from that CD. Okay, so this is what we do with it. Clear? So the devices are controlled and managed by device driver. Device driver is a system software. Is a system software. Okay. Clear for everyone? So whatever devices we buy, they are controlled and managed by device drivers. Device drivers, some of the device drivers are built in with the operating system. Some of them, according to the device, when we buy a new device, they will give a CD. So that CD, if you put it in your computer, they will be having a drivers. We have to install that drivers from the CD. This is all about device drivers. Is it clear for everyone? The next topic is utility software. Okay, so let's see what is mean by utility software. For example, so in your house, okay, somebody has to wash your dresses, right? Will you do it by yourself? No, your parents are doing. No? And for your parents, they have to keep the whole home clean. Okay, neat and clean. So who has to help? Sometimes your mother herself may clean the house, washing dresses, cleaning the utensils, and cleaning the floor, mopping, everything your mother will be doing. Or you may have a servant in your home. So somebody is assisting you to keep your home or do your work smoothly. Somebody is helping to do your work smoothly. If the house is very clean, then only you can go for the next activity. Otherwise, you have to keep clean the house. So somebody is helping to keep the house clean. Similarly, utility softwares, they are actually application softwares. They are actually application softwares. They are helping system softwares to work smoothly. To work smoothly. Okay, like a server, they are working. They are helping the system software. Actually, this is a application software which helps the system software to do its work smoothly, to do its work smoothly. Okay, so it acts as a uh, we can call intermediator between system software and application software. Clear for everyone? So let me write it here. What is meant by utility software? Actually, it is a application software. Okay, it's a application software. What it does, what is its task? It helps, it assists system software, okay, to do its work smoothly. It helps system software to do its work smoothly. Okay, so that is the second point. It helps system, I'm writing in a short form, SIS. That means system. You don't please write like this. You have to write it in full word. Okay. It helps system software. It helps system software to work smoothly. To work smoothly. So this is the task of this utility software. Is it clear for everyone? So utility software, it's the application software which helps system softwares to do its work smoothly. Okay. And let's see what are all the softwares comes under this utility software. Okay. Utility means it's not a single program again, which also consists of group of programs or softwares, you can call it as. All right. So let's see few of utility softwares now. The very first one, it's called antivirus. It's called antivirus software. Before seeing what is antivirus, first let's see what is virus. So do you know what is virus? Yes, it creates infections in a human body, right? Okay, we are a normal human body, human beings, so we won't be same at all time. Sometimes we may get a cough or a cold or a fever or something. That's because of bacterial or virus infection. Similarly, the computers, they are working for the whole day. Do they get any bacterial infections? No, they get a virus infection. They will get a virus infection. So what happens when a virus infects a computer? Okay. So if there is any infection for a human, normal human being for us, we may have a headache or a body pain or a cold, a cough, anything, right? Similarly, what are the symptoms we see in a computer? When a computer is infected by a virus, what are the symptoms we see in a computer? So the computer may not work properly. The files will be corrupted. Okay, the files may be doubled. So we may have a 10 files in our computer. If you see the next day after virus infection, you may see 100 files of same file, same data. Okay, so these are the infections by virus. So if a virus infects the computer, it totally gets damaged. Okay, virus damages our system. So let me write it here. Virus damages our computer. In simple word, we can say virus damages our computer. So how to protect our computer from virus? How do we protect ourselves from bacterial and virus infection? We go to doctor and take medicines and we will become all right, right? Similarly, what we have to do to get rid of virus in a computer? We need to have an antivirus software. We need to have antivirus software. Okay. So what is this antivirus software and what does it do? It's like a medicine. Okay, so we are buying medicines and having, right? Similarly, antivirus, it's a software, it's not a medicine, it's a software. We have to buy from the store, and we have to buy this antivirus series softwares and install in our computer. Okay, after installing the antivirus, what happens in our system? So if we install the antivirus software, okay, after installing, whatever work we do on our computer, everything will be scanned by this antivirus software. Scanning in the sense which will check is there any virus is there in the computer. Whatever files we open, it will first check whether it has any infected virus. If infected virus is there, which will scan and detect it, delete the virus. Okay, then it will open the file. That means our computer is safer side. That is a task of antivirus. Okay, so this antivirus makes our work smoothly. It makes our work do smoothly. If any virus infects, can we do our work again in the computer? No, right? So this is one of the utility software. What is it? It is antivirus software. So what does antivirus software do? Does it scans our computer, okay, and if any virus is detected, it will delete and remove the virus from the system. It will remove the virus from our computer. Okay, and there are some examples for antivirus. First, let me write what is antivirus. It's a software. It is a software. Okay, then what does it do? It scans each and every file we open, which scans each and every files we open. Scans So you understood the point, the scanning, right? So now you know this for coronavirus, if people are coming from the other state or from other country, they are scanning whether we have a fever or not. Scanning is happening, right? Similarly, the files are getting scanned in the computer to check for viruses, to check for virus. Okay. So it scans each and every file or activity we do in the computer. Okay, what does it do? It checks, and if any virus is detected, which removes the virus, which scans and removes the virus. That is a task of this antivirus software, which is a kind of utility software, which smoothens our work. Smoothens our work. Then examples for antivirus software. There are many antivirus softwares they are there. Okay, let me list out very few. If you know any other software or if you are using any antivirus software in your computer, also you can write it here. Okay, so examples are Norton antivirus. So Norton antivirus, Quick Heal. The next one is Quick Heal, McAfee, K7 Security, and so on. There are so many antivirus softwares are there. I have listed very few. If you know, you can write here what you know. Clear? So this is one of the utility program, one of the utility software or program. If it's a software, that means it's a program. Both are same only. So don't get confused when I use the word software and program alternatively. Fine. So antivirus software, when our computer is infected with a virus, that will damage our computer. To avoid viruses, we need to install antivirus software in our computer. Okay, so what does this antivirus do? It scans all the files we open or all the work we do, and if any virus is detected, it will scan and remove the virus from the computer. Examples for antivirus softwares are Norton Antivirus, Quick Heal, McAfee, K7 Security. These are all examples for antivirus software. Clear? So next one is the file management tools. Okay. The second utility software is file management tools. Let's see what is file management. Can you tell me what we are doing with the computer? We are feeding data and instructions to the computer, right? We are feeding data and instructions to the computer. Sometimes you may take a Word document and you may type a paragraph or an essay, or you can just open a PowerPoint presentation and create one presentation, or you may open MS Paint and make some drawings, right? So can you tell me, after typing an essay or after creating PowerPoint or after completing one particular drawing, what do you do? Will you switch off the computer directly? No, right? So after completing your work, you will be saving your data and the instructions, what you have given to the computer. So whatever data and instructions we are giving into the computer, we are saving it. How do we save it? We are saving in the way of files, in the format of files. So whatever work we do, which are getting saved as a files, which are getting saved as a files. So in a computer, so many files will be there. Not only you will be creating 5 or 10 files today. Maybe your brothers or sisters also working on the same computer, and maybe your father and mother, everyone will be working on the computer and a single computer. So if everyone creates many files, then the computer will be filled up with so many files. So how to manage the files? It's called file management tools. It's called file management tools. Okay. So the next one is a file management tools. So the data and instructions, whatever we are giving into the computer, which are stored in the format of files. So the computer is loaded with lots and lots of files. So how to manage the files? How to search for a particular file? How to update a file? Okay, how to browse in the computer? Okay, for a particular item, or how to preview the work you have done. Everything it's done by the file management software. Just done by this file management tools or softwares. Clear? And there are some examples for file management tools, such as in if you take a Windows operating system, you have a Windows Explorer. We have Windows Explorer, and if you go to Windows Explorer, you can see all the files stored in your computer from Windows Explorer. From here, you can just add, delete, manage, and do any work. You can search, you can update, you can have a preview, you can browse anything from here. Okay, so that is a type of file management tool. Which one? Windows Explorer. And similarly, so many are there. Okay, Google Desktop, it's there. All right, so so many file management tools are there. Clear? So what we write for file management tools, the data and instructions what we are feeding are stored in the format of files. Okay, so data is an important tool. It's a file management, it's an important tool in an operating system. It's an important tool. Tool. And then what does it do? The data and the instructions are getting saved as files. Okay, so they are managed by file management tools. Data and instructions are stored as files. So they are managed by this file management tool. There are many file management tools. Say for example, Windows Explorer. Okay, Windows Explorer in Windows OS. OS is one example. Okay, so you can, for what you can do from here, you can search for any files, you can add a file or delete file, you can create a folder. Okay, you can create a new file or you can delete it, you can manage everything, you can preview, you can update everything, you can do it from here. And some other examples are Google Desktop and all. These are all about file management tools. Okay, so we have studied the utility software. What does the utility software do? It smoothens the work of system software. Okay, it smoothens the work of system software, and it has a many types. First we studied about antivirus. Okay, then second we studied about file management. Okay. Next, we are going to study the next one, compression tools. Next one, it's a compression. So the next one is compression tool. Okay. Let me give you an example before talking about compression tool. Do you know the meaning of the word compression? You don't know, right? I'll tell you. Just small example. Okay. Definitely your kids, you like toys, playing with the toys. For example, you are buying an toy aeroplane with wings and all. Okay, wings, everything, body, wings and everything, and which flies actually. You're just giving money and buying that toy aeroplane. Okay, so when you buy an aeroplane, how do they pack and give it to you? How do you bring it to home? Do they just set up the aeroplane as it is and make a big cardboard box and give it to you? No, right? They will just remove the wings, remove the parts and put it in a one smaller box and they will give it to you. Then only you can easily carry, right? Otherwise, it will occupy a lot of space and that much big cardboard, it's not possible. So they will remove the parts and put it in one small box. Okay, they will keep it top of one another and top of one another and put it in a small box that you can easily hold it and bring it to your home. And once after you come home, you are opening the pack. After opening the pack, will it automatically set up as a full setup aeroplane? No, right? You have to take the parts and fix it as it is, as the original one. Then only you can make it fly, right? So now tell me why they have packed the aeroplane by splitting the parts and stacking and one top of other and putting it in a small box. The reason is the space. Okay, if it's a full setup aeroplane, okay, it needs a lot of space, a big cardboard, lot of space it required. And but if you separate it as a part and put it in a smaller box, then the size will become smaller and it is easy to hold it also, easy to hold it. Similarly, some files in computers, okay, as we said, the data and the instructions we are feeding to the computer, they are stored as a files. Some files, they are really large in size, they are really too big in size. So if we save those big files in the computer, which will occupy lot of memory space, which will occupy memory, lot of big files occupy lot of memory space. They will occupy lot of memory space. So what we have to do? How to reduce the memory space? So we have to compress it. We have to compress it. Compress means making it smaller in size. Compression means making it smaller in size. Compression meaning making it smaller in size. Making it smaller in size, it's called compression. Okay, so in computer, if we save a big file which will occupy lot of memory space, that will be wasted. To avoid this, we go for compression software or compression tools. So what it does, it will shrink. It will reduce the file into smaller size. It will reduce the files into smaller size. You can, instead of this, you can use the word which shrinks. S-H-I-R-N-K-S. Shrink means making smaller in size. Okay, which shrinks files smaller in size. Okay, and save it in the computer memory. When the size is small, the memory space again it will become smaller in size. So we will be having a lot of free space in the computer. Okay, so then how to open it? Can we directly open and we will get an exact file with a full size? Exactly no. As a toy aeroplane, once after you bring it to home, you have to fix the parts to rearrange it. Similarly, when you compress the software files, you have to decompress the files. You have to decompress the files. Compression and then decompression. Compression means making it smaller in size. Okay, shrinking the files. Then decompression means bringing it to the original size. Bringing it to the original size, it's called decompression. Okay, and there are many softwares available for compress and decompress. Okay, some of them are WinZip, PKZip, WinRAR, etc. Many are there. These are examples. Is it clear? So what is meant by compression? It's making the file smaller in size. Why we are doing it? Because if we save it as it is, which will occupy a lot of memory space in the computer. To avoid this situation, we are going for this file compression, which shrinks the files what we are saving. And when we decompress, when we open, we have to decompress the file. Compress and decompress. Clear for everyone? And examples of uh, compression tools are WinZip, TKZip, WinRAR, etc. These are all examples of compression softwares or tools. Okay, so this is all about compression tools. Next one is backup tools. Okay. That is another type of utility software. That is another type of utility software. So what is mean by backup tools? For this, I can say that it happens in even in my home. Okay, my elder daughter will be writing something in some notebook or drawing, doing something, and the younger one, what she will do? She will tear it. She don't know anything, so she will do some naughty things. Okay, so in this case, what my elder one do is, she will again rewrite it. She will again rewrite it. What is mean by? So what she has written, she lost it. Okay, she lost it because the another one tear the paper. So she lost it, or sometimes water poured on the paper. So whatever we have written, it's not visible. That means the what we have written, what she has written, it's lost. In this case, she has to write it again. It may happen in your house also. So what I'm trying to say is backup in the sense whatever work we do in the computer, okay, sometimes we may lose our data. Sometimes we may lose our data. For example, the computer it works well and good for years and years. One sudden morning, the computer you are switching on the computer, but it is not working, it is not switching on. That means it is repaired. Okay, when it's repaired, you cannot take the work you have done so far. Everything is lost. So what we have to do? So to avoid this kind of situation, okay, just data loss, to avoid the data loss, we have to take a backup. Backup means storing all the files what we have done in the computer in another device. Okay, it may be a secondary device, it may be a pen drive or a hard disk, okay, or a CD, anything. Okay, Okay, according to the size, you can choose the device. Okay, maybe pen drive, CD, or external hard disk. You can take a secondary devices and you can store all the files in your computer as a backup. So backup in the sense saving the data in an external device for later purpose, okay? For any accidental purpose. Accidentally, if any data you lost it from your computer, no need to worry about it because you have a backup. So the hard drive, you can take it and you can just put it in another computer and you can take all your data back. That is called backup tools. Okay, backup tools, it provides the facility to get all our data when there is a data loss. When there is a data loss, data loss, you can back up. Okay, when there is a data loss, you will lose all the files in your computer. So what is the remedy of this? The remedy is taking the backup. Okay, remedy for this is take backup. Take backup of all the files. Backup of all the files in the computer. So how to take a backup? You can take a backup in any type of secondary devices, okay, like a pen drive or a CD or an external hard disk, anything, okay. So how it is possible? How it is possible with the help of secondary devices, such as pen drive, CD, hard disk, external hard disk, etc. So using these devices, we can just store all the files and folders in our computer as a backup, secondary storage. Okay, and if there is any data loss in our computer, if the computer is corrupted, no need to worry about it because we have a backup data in the secondary devices. We can just install these devices in another computer and you can retrieve all the data back. So this is called backup tools. This makes our work smooth. Okay, this makes our work smooth. And if you take all the utility softwares, okay, the fourth one what we have said now is backup tools. All these tools which makes our work smoother. That's what we say utility software. It's an application software, okay, which helps system software to do its work smoothly, and there are lot of utility softwares are there. Another one is a disk cleaner software. So from the name you can understand disk cleaner means when the disk is filled, you may be having a hard local disk C, D or E. If any disk is filled, if you have a disk cleaner software, that will automatically clean unwanted files in the computer. So which makes our work smoother, makes our work smoother and better. Okay, so that is the reason we call it as utility softwares, and they are making the operating system to work smoothly. I hope the utility softwares are clear for all the students. Yes,